Welcome back to the Cepheid Variable. This is referee Chris, and we're going to name off those lovely folks from Patreon who decided to give us money this month. They are Taylor, Drowrin, Miles, Randy, Yam, Colby, Thomas, Randy G, Laszlo, Hovo, H-O-V-O, Jeremy, Ben, and Garth. Thank you all for your continued support via Patreon. And, I hope you guys enjoy this episode as we get into the meat and potatoes of the story. Characters are made. It's time to see what happens to those characters. Enjoy. We are here. Okay, so last session, we made characters. Everyone's got a character in front of them. We've got some equipment. Equipment takes a lot to get in this game. There is a whole book on equipment, and it's a very lengthy process. So we have decided that we have the basics of what we need. We'll flesh it out as we go, and then we can, in a later episode, we'll tell you kind of what equipment we've had. So there are two additional things in Traveler that one thing we didn't really hit upon, which is the connection rule. So that's where each of you kind of goes through during a life event, and you would tie yourself into that connection, that life event with another character, and you both would get that skill kind of thing. Seth Skorkowski has a different kind of rule where he does, where at any point during the story, if you can make it sense between your characters would have shared this information, then you can get the skill then. So I think we're going to stick with that. So essentially, each of you will get an additional 2 skills from one of the players teaching you it. And when it becomes relevant to the story, let's just bring it up, and then we can have it happen. But you only get 2. So that's just kind of how it works. So be prepared for that. So if there's a skill that you think might be useful, at one point, you guys can have a talk. And if Meesha's really good at carousing, you might teach Tyler's character something, or you guys, that kind of thing.
Sure.
So there's a couple things that we need to establish in this world before we fully jump in. The big one is, how did you all meet? Because in this game, you are starting out, and that's where this kind of character connection rule is, as a group. You've known each other for some amount of time. We can say maybe a year, maybe 2. 2 of you have ships that you own. Have you consolidated to one ship? Are you maybe lending the other ship out to a group of people to go run around and do stuff? So you have like an active stream of credits in. Have you docked it because you don't need it anymore and it's just sitting there collecting dust? I don't know. And I don't think you do, because we just make characters. Like, we're maybe half hour removed from making these characters. Yeah. So that's something we'll explore as we go along. But for the meantime, how did everybody here meet? Where do we think the avenues of connections came?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a big thing before we jump into this game. Yeah. And I want to go a little bit over roles and skill checks and everything like that before we get into the story proper. But let's open the table up here to how did this group? Do you guys have a name? Do we have do we have character names yet? I think we got character names, right? Let's go down the character names first. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then we'll start in terms of connections with Jake and I's character.
Okay, Cody.
All right,
what do you got? What's your character's name?
So I don't know. I just came to me. It's not great, but this is what I got. So based on my like mercantile sort of like crazy, not gambling because I don't have the gambling skill, but like I gambled with my life quite often. I'm on the razor's edge.
Rex Danger.
Yeah. So his name is Jedt, spelled with a D, like G-E-D-T.
Okay.
Or J-A-D-T. Sorry.
Jedt.
I don't know why I'm saying it so quickly. J-E-D.
Jedt. Okay, Jedt, that's what I thought.
Exactly. Jedt Coinbitter.
Okay, I like it.
That's my name.
It's a good, solid.
Is that
name.
Is that like a family name, or is that the name he introduces himself by?
I guess we'll say that he does come from a line of merchants. Yeah.
A long line of Coinbitters.
Yeah. Although his dad was successful, whereas he was just not as successful as he wanted to be.
All right, so we got Jedt, Coinbiter. Who else wants to throw out their character name?
I am Astrodomos Rodgers, but my friends call me Toot.
Astrodomos. Damn.
Astrodomos
Damn.
Rodgers.
Jake's listening.
That's so good, dude.
I love it.
Toot.
Toot,
Okay.
yeah. So Toot, Astrodomos, Toot Rodgers.
So we're going to go with Toot isn't the family name. It is your character's name.
It's like if someone was like Theodore in a rich family,
Right.
they'd go by like Ted.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, okay. So,
Right.
but Toot, we're establishing Toot is a first name, not a last name.
Yes.
So there's not like the Toot family.
Right.
No.
Well, and
Now,
also,
or is this like where it's like multiple families could be given that? Like multiple families could have been Toot?
No, this is my nickname.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Toot
I like
Rodgers.
it. Toot Rodgers. All right. Who wants to go next?
Well, I'm struggling between two.
Okay.
Oh, then
Scott.
I can go first if you want to.
Well, I think he wants our input.
Yeah, I do. I just want input.
All right.
So I either want to go by his online screen name, which is Gorpius, or
It's like Morpheus, but Gorpius.
I feel like
Like
his,
Rick and Morty shit.
his normal name is Blex.
Oh, damn.
Blex.
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 That's a good name.
I feel like that's a good name
That's
too.
a good name.
They're
yeah.
both good.
I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards Blex.
I think that's a better name in general.
Yeah.
Because
Like
Gorpius is only his screen name.
Gorpius is fantastic name.
Maybe that's his underground name, right?
Yeah, I
Exactly, that's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that there's both, and then he is both of those, and then maybe Blex is the one that you go by from.
Yeah, maybe when he puts the sunglasses on, he's Gorpius.
Yeah, exactly.
So Gorpius is like Gorpius.
You nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you've seen him online.
I might
That's
have.
crazy.
I
Wow.
feel like Gorpius took both the red and blue pill at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I don't. It's not Morpheus.
No.
Yeah.
Just saying,
It's not Dollar Storephius.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because my psionics character would have been Dollar Storephius.
Yeah, right.
It's fantastic.
All right, Tyler, don't let us down.
I have. That's not as good as Gorpius, I can tell you that. But Lieutenant Colonel Zander Cross.
Oh, that's right. I phrased Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah, that's a
Lieutenant
good
Colonel.
one.
I don't want to discredit him with that.
Lieutenant Colonel's good.
Xander Cross.
Xander Cross.
It's a bad name.
Anybody have like thought of character descriptions yet for what their character looks like? If there's an actor to play them or something like that?
Yeah, I got one.
No, I
I
don't.
feel like Channing Tatum for Xander Cross.
So I'm kind of like trying to go back and forth because when I started, we started rolling and making him, his stat wise, he's not like a big beefy dude. He's actually like a little, the only dice mod I have right now is a -1 for dexterity.
Sure.
Everything else
so
is
he's
0.
not, yeah, Channing Tatum can dance. Your guy can't. So
Yeah.
that's out.
But like, some reason I just always have this thing in my head, like, all right, if it's a military dude, he's got to be like big and jacked, but this guy is not. So
What about
I'm-
Steve Buscemi?
I don't know about that. I'm going back and forth. I'm trying to think of it,
all right.
but like, I don't know.
All right. We need to get some sort of general description of them.
Uh,
No. But just
Yeah.
start thinking about it. Anybody have anything, or are we going to just let it?
I
bit.
go ahead, Jake.
I don't really have like an actor yet.
Yeah.
But I think he wears I think he's like really, really skinny and tall. Like, not like Belter, but I don't know, whatever we figure out.
Maybe like a 6'3", that range?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Wears almost like a grown up Sid from Toy Story. Like he wears like muscle shirts with like a skull on it
Okay.
and like fatigues and like Doc Martens. And he has
Damn.
like a buzz cut, maybe like a short mohawk.
Okay.
You know
All
what I
right.
mean?
I like it.
Yeah.
Kind of like De Niro from Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
But think that, but like definitely skinny.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cody, what do you got?
Yeah, Jedt. He's been a broker and merchant his entire life essentially. Tried to get into school, couldn't get there, so he really just buckled down and has been working. So he has good suits. Like he has a nice suit. He's kind of skinny-ish, but he's tall and kind of lanky. So he kind of like, I don't know, has this weird like bony, edgy look to it. He has like kind of a little bit of scruff, but it's tasteful, and but he's grayed out. He's got like, you know, definitely whiter hair, whiter beard. But yeah, he's been through a ton of legal trouble. So he kind of has that look that he's well learned because he's had to really study in order to represent himself in these legal troubles.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got a kind of a calmer demeanor, but he still has that like car salesman energy in a way of speaking. So it's kind of this weird mix between like learned kind of but rugged mechanical car salesman, like ship salesman type of broker dude.
I feel like when he like is passionate about something, it shows more.
Yeah, I could see
or like
that.
when he has to turn it on, he knows how. It's like
yeah, exactly.
yeah, nice. All right, Meescha, do you have anybody for your character?
I think I'm going to go with Aubrey Plaza.
Okay, nice.
Like she's just like a good face. Like she'll
Right.
be like just hi. I'm just like I'm so excited to be here. Let's make a difference with politics, and then right behind everyone's back, just like take all the money and then just be like screw you, bye.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like it. That works. Perfect. Great. Okay, so how did y'all meet? What are the connections here on how this group
I think
came together?
like one root of the story is just that we know Jake and I, like Jedt and
Blex.
Blex,
Yep.
met through mutual benefit.
Yeah, shady underground black market
Yeah.
business dealings.
He needed a place to hawk his wares.
Yeah.
And I was able to find buyers.
Hawk Tua his wares.
Exactly. I spit on those things.
Yeah. Ugh.
Jesus.
I wasn't making those cybernetics. Or maybe I was.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, yeah, you do you, babe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my character was like in college to get some money started making some illegal cybernetics or augmentations, and he has a really low social skills, so he used Cody's brokering services to actually sell my goods.
Nice. And maybe I couldn't do it alone in terms of actually finding buyers. I needed a lot of help from Astrodomos,
Yes.
being the
You're welcome.
sort of connected, well-to-do family ties to law, like I'm assuming like elected officials, maybe, or is there
I
is there
have
no?
A lot of connections.
Okay. Yeah.
But we don't know each other, if you know what I mean. We know each other, but not on camera.
Right. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be. You
Yeah.
don't want to associate.
I
with me,
don't-
and
Like
that's
you're
fine.
leaving like different exits when you go out of a building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
aware
I
that
can't-
I'm
No
image
affiliation.
baggage. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I am an elected official, mind you. But I will take the money on the side.
Yeah, where'd you guys meet? What do you guys think you guys met? Like a party of some sort?
question.
Or
I needed bribe money to smuggle some assets through another diplomat,
okay.
and I needed help doing that from a lower life form.
Damn.
Someone who might have more experience doing that sort of
Nice.
shady thing
Yeah, you
under
got
the
like
table.
2 or 3 years separation, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And a little bit of money on my hand, a little bit of money on his hand. It was an accord for both of us.
Yeah.
There we go.
Maybe
Nice.
we share one thing in common with us is that we're both a little like caution to the wind in our like operating procedure. Like you
Yes.
seem like you're a little fast and loose as a noble, and so am I as a merchant.
No, he's right.
And
And I'm younger and less wise, but I have a big head. So
I guess how did
yeah.
we meet? That you just basically you found me somewhere, one way or another.
I
Connections.
found you through the shady channels of which I have many avenues on. I have a lot of reach, and I can find a lot of things.
So whatever home
We'll say-
planet this was on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably one deal. There was one deal where a fixer set us
Yeah.
up.
And then
Right.
I just continuously use him for my nefarious plans on the
Yep.
side.
That works.
Yeah, and I met Blex online through his Glorpius.
Screen name Glorpius.
Yeah.
Scorpius, we met on 4chan.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Respectable.
Yeah.
How did we get
Yeah, I have no idea
Yeah,
how
You might just have
We've
to.
given you a lot to try to connect to,
well,
but it's hard to tie.
so
to
I mean, I was thinking like from the outset, like lived on a space station as a kid or something, not with like a lot of opportunities, and like fell into the Marines.
yeah,
But I'm wondering if maybe because we did that life event where I turned on a guy,
Yeah.
snitched on him, maybe that caused a little bit of trouble. I basically had to be stationed. I was promoted, but stationed somewhere else. I'm not sure how I would have met either you two, but the socialite maybe.
Yes.
Like maybe as part of my like promotion, I got to be a little more visible. Went to like events.
Greasing palm.
I think
Yeah,
I
like-
like that maybe I don't know if you'd like this, but maybe you were either muscle for her as protection
He's
or
not muscle, though.
Yeah, not muscle is the thing.
How about
Oh.
this?
He's way more like he's an engineer, way more
So,
than he's military. Like about
You
combat.
had this thing happen and you got this accolade. Maybe you met her.
I
You
mean,
met Meesha's character through that accolade.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like that's about the only thing because I can't figure out how I would know you two unless was introduced.
right.
And the only way to be introduced to Rodgers over here, famous personality, maybe presented me awards, something like that.
Or maybe we go the
You're
reverse
welcome.
direction. Like maybe you knew Glorpius through your engineering. Your
I mean that could also be
so either
like-
you needed a cybernetic from him that only he could develop, or there was like you had a problem with your development that only a cybernetic specialist could augment.
Yeah,
Something like
maybe
that. I don't
he's done a government contract or two.
it actually in that case that would be perfect.
You could have gone to the same school, too. Like, you both went to university.
know.
Maybe you knew each other at
Oh.
university.
True.
You know what?
And then, like,
Old university buddies
That's how it was.
that just kind of randomly connected. Like I met. What's your actual first name?
Astrodomos.
Astrodomos. I'm never going to remember that, but it's great. I met Astrodomos through a public event, like my accolades, my promotion or whatever. And then
You're
it just happened to, I mean, you wouldn't associate with them in public, but
No.
somehow found the link like, oh, I know Blex. He's went to school with that guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Blex.
All right,
there we go.
I like it.
Good
All
old
right.
Glorpius.
Yeah,
Gorpius. There's no L in there.
Gorpius.
yeah.
People always mess it up.
Gorpius Maximus.
Wait, is it an L or not?
That's
No,
Gorp.
Gorpius.
Okay. All right.
There's no L.
All right. Gorpius.
I wrote Glorpius at first, and then I had to correct
Okay.
myself. I was
Okay.
like, nope, that's not right. All right, cool. So, with that all out of the way, you guys have your connection. We are an official traveler group. You guys don't have to have a name. Unless you guys want to have a name, you don't have to have one. But something has happened in the past few years that have brought you all together, and you guys are all as one on a ship.
Which ship? My ship?
We're going to start off on neither of those ships.
Oh.
Maybe they're docked at wherever we're going to be.
Okay.
But maybe you're taking one of these ships. We'll get there. I want to get into skill checks here real quick.
Okay.
So, one of the big things about this game is skills.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make skill checks, as we talked about, where you're going to roll a 2d6. You're going to add one of your skills to that, and then you get to add a characteristic with it as well. And if you get an 8+, you succeed. If I've made it a higher difficulty, like let's say, it basically goes up by 2. So like 8 is normal, 10 is hard, 12 is really hard, 14 is impossible, that kind of thing. But it's always in increments of 2. So like a 6 is easy, that kind of thing. So kind of how you think about it in that terms is, 8 is what you need to hit. Now there are things in this game that are called skill chains. And this is going to be very important because they're really cool in the sense of they're called task chains, where you are all working on a task to do something, and you can set up a task chain and help each other out like you would, say, in Pathfinder 2e when you did aid. I'm going to provide aid for this character. In Traveler, you're going to make a roll, and depending upon your roll and the degree of success is what you're going to give to the next character after you. So let's say your starship is on fire. And you need to do, there's a series of checks that are going to need to be done. Someone's got to turn off the engines before they overheat. Someone's got to run the battery backup power so we can do this, this, and this. All those tasks are linked together. So the first person rolls, and depending on how they roll, they're going to give a DM to the next person. When that person rolls, and depending on how they roll, they're going to give a DM to the next character, and so on and so forth. They can be negative DMs, or they can be positive DMs. So really, it could go south depending on how you guys roll. But it just makes sense. And you guys will say, or I'll say, this sounds like you guys want to do a task chain, so let's do that kind of thing. So it's ever, you can straight up call them out. Like, if you guys are trying to like break into a building and you need some of the, I have to wait for him to hack into the security system to turn off the alarm, then I'm going to stealth into the building. That's a task chain.
Got it.
You would roll, depending on how well he does with that, pass that benefit on to you. So that's the big things going on here. If there is ever opposed rolls where you're rolling against somebody, it's whoever has the highest success effect. So if you both roll, it's whoever has the target number's 8. Whoever has the most effect over 8 wins. So if you roll a 2 and I roll a 14, I'm going to win because I have the most effect over whatever the score is. That's kind of how that works. You can do multiple tasks at once. You just take a negative DM, like the difficulty increases if you're doing multiple things. And then time frames matter. You can take longer to do something, and you basically increase the DM by 1 step that you would get. So let's say you're trying to hack into a computer, and it could take you 1d6 minutes. You can bump that up to 2d6, like 10 minutes, whatever it'd be, and you get like a +1 or 2 to your roll because you're taking longer to do it. Vice versa, if it takes, like I say, hey, it's going to take you 15 minutes to get into this computer system, and you're like, well, I want to try to get in there quicker. Cool. You bump it down, and it would be minus, you have a negative DM
Like
to whatever you're rolling because it makes it tougher.
Got it.
Make sense, everybody?
yeah.
Pretty simple?
That's pretty cool.
That's where like the crunchy granularness of this go. So a big part of the roll is going to be, and I need you guys to keep me on check with this, is we need to know what the effect of the roll is as well. Like that's going to be the big thing of like, cool, you succeeded. How well did you succeed? And then we'll go over that with the effect. There will be boons and banes in this as well. Typically, if you have a boon, you roll an extra d6. You take the higher 2. If you have a bane, you take the lower 2. So think of like advantage in 5e. So you'll roll 3d6 with a boon, take the best. With a bane, you take the worst. So, other than that, I think that's everything I kind of wanted to cover when it comes to skills. Anybody have any questions or anything like that? Feeling pretty good?
No, yeah, feeling pretty good.
Feel pretty good.
Okay, cool. All right, let's hop into this. So we are in the vastness of space. The traveler universe, there is no... travel takes a long time in between planets. Like, you're going to be on a ship for a week or 2 at a time. There's no, like, super light speed kind of travel. Communication between... There's no, like, instant light communication, so things that happen in one system don't always necessarily make it to the next system in time. That kind of stuff. And so we see you guys are coming back from a vacation. Probably isn't the best term. But you're coming back from a...
Expedition.
Not an expedition. You have a little bit of time off. You guys... Well, let's back up. You guys are stationed on a space station. Each of you has come to this station. You've been there maybe two years now. You guys have come as a group, and essentially you've been stationed here on the Orcelian. It is a Anchorage class orbital station, so it looks like a kind of like a big top. You all have a job as part of this station, so I'll let you think of that as we go along, what it would be. And I think this is kind of after, remember, this is after your career you've done, so you become a traveler.
Yeah.
So you still have those contacts and everything, but you're far enough now to where, like, your previous life probably hasn't caught up to you. You guys are currently in a sector of space known as the Sheraton system. I'll give you the full name if you're ready for it. The Sheraton is the main, and then all the systems are kind of like named after the planet because it's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. The primary planet is Sheraton-62023485. Don't worry about that. I can share that with you later. But you guys are part of, like I said, you guys are part of this space station. And the space station is here to monitor activity on these planets.
So it's like a private owned, like, station, like monitoring station or something?
You're tied to like kind of the Imperium. Like,
okay.
like you have been stationed here, you've been sent here, or you've acquired to be here. I'll let you decide why you chose to come out here as we go.
Gotcha.
But you guys are here, and this space station is here to monitor these sets of planets. Now, we all know from the history of the world and everything going on that there is this fog that in the past has swept through and kind of enveloped whole planets. And then essentially, once it dissipated, there was nothing, like no signs of intelligent life left on that planet.
This is something we know, like
yes,
just
this is
the
like
background
a history thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And so you guys are there on this space station, essentially monitoring these planets for any form of life. So that's just kind of the day-to-day.
So they've already been hit by the fog?
They've already been hit.
And there's no intelligence life, and then we're still monitoring.
Right. And there's like, occasionally there are, like, the way that Traveler works is not all ships are built for landing on the planet. Like, a lot of ships are just built for space travel, so they're not aerodynamic, they're not meant for liftoff. So, just that, this space station is kind of here, and then there might be, like, little ships will go down and land and, like, explore these planets and come back. So let me run you down the systems we have. So there is Sheridan 1 is kind of like one of the planets. There is Sheridan 2, which was one of like the bigger planets. There was a settlement there that's gone. There's Sheridan 4, 5, and 6. So like there's no 3, which seems kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Space math.
And yeah, so you guys see that Sheridan 2 has 7 moons and an asteroid belt. Sheridan 4 has 1 moon. Sheridan 5 is one occupied moon and 1 unoccupied moon. And then Sheridan 6 has just 1 moon. So I'll share all this with you guys.
Question, is this part of, like, in general, Traveler background, or is this all created?
This is all created.
Okay.
So
I don't know a whole lot about actual, like, Traveler lore.
Right, yeah. The fog is like my own creation. Traveler lore, I've kind of looped in kind of different vibes. So we can go over that with everybody here as we kind of get into this. So
Gotcha.
I've slightly altered the way that things have worked in the Traveler universe. Essentially, the easiest thing to remember here is that there is the Prime Dominion, which is the collection of all aliens in the universe coming together and creating like a unified, like, Imperium style coalition of like worlds. And they did that to combat the fog, because the fog was kind of growing. It was taking out places. People, these Xeno factions, wanted to be able to understand what was going on, so they started banding together to share their notes and do their best to target what was going on. These powers kind of gained, and they began to kind of monitor what's going on with this fog, and they did their best to see what was going on, but it just seemed like all of a sudden this fog just disappeared one day, and they've been trying to monitor where it's at, and they've been monitoring these sections that were hit to make sure, like, what's going on with, are these planets still inhabitable? Like, that's a big part of your guys' things, is reading these planets. No one's gone down on them, because they just don't know. Like, since the original ones, they've gone down to the search party, but they're just not sure, like, is there any sort of weird, like, contamination left behind? Just hasn't really been in the works. So the Prime Dominion started to rise, and it became kind of the overarching government of the party, of the universe. And at one point, about 15 cycles is when the fog just kind of just gone. No more reports came in, nothing happened. And so that was one of the bigger things that happened in the past. Humanity was introduced into the Prime, the Prime Dominion in 2045, when 2 warring factions decided to pick our backwards little planet, start a little war over resources. And in the end, the surviving race were essentially giving like thousands of years of knowledge like overnight. Like the Prime Dominion helped get rid of these 2 species off the planet, and humanity was basically brought into the Dominion as like, hey, our bad. We should have watched this a little bit better.
Basically just uplifted us.
Right. Exactly. Like in like the matter of years. It was like, hey, here's space travel. Like, we're going to help get all this set up.
Are you saying I can dodge bullets?
Yeah.
You cannot. And so when that happened, humanity decided to like split, start like scattering across all of the galaxy. There are a couple different groups that were formed, so maybe one of you guys came from one of these groups. There were the Zorn, which are, it was basically like the material that was known on the planet. That's what they kind of came for. They wanted to get. And so, sorry, the colonies of man were the Kirks. They basically saw themselves as like the chosen ones, and that they survive because whatever higher power believes that they are better than everything, and that it's their job to spread the holy words of the Father amongst the stars. And so they basically built these arcs and went on pilgrimage and left everything behind. Then crazy space people, like space missionaries.
No relation to James T. Kirk, though.
No. If anything, I was probably thinking Kirk Cameron, because he's a religious wacko. There were the Crithids, who saw like the Krithos, which is like the basically the mechanical or whatever, like the MacGuffin that these people came to fight on our planet they found. They saw it as the savior and wanted to follow them and help it out. So they believe that they need their help and they owe them. Humanity owes them for what they did. So they basically kind of became like subservient to them and went and helped them on their worlds. The Krithos were a advanced computer race that helped give humanity all this information. And then there's the Lone Stars, which is basically believe that humanity was given a second chance at life, and they weren't going to squander it. So they went out searching and exploring, and they just settled down wherever they found it, and just kind of like became just like drifters and wanderers out in the universe. So that's kind of the background of humanity becoming part of this. So you guys would know the general forms like of those 3 groups, but we're well past that to where you would like, be an active member of one of those groups. It's kind of like you've read it in any sort of like formal history of, like, where did humans come from?
Yeah, it's not necessarily like, these aren't necessarily the big 3 factions.
No.
But this is the basis for current.
Right. So you're, at one point, your ancestors once belonged to one of these groups.
Gotcha.
And helped found all this, but like you're in no way tied to one of those things. Like nobody's be like, oh, you're a fucking loney kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the Crithids are still there. They're still one of the races in the Prime Dominion. Humanity is now part of the Prime Dominion. Essentially, like any kind of aliens we can think of are going to be in the Prime Dominion. So that includes, I'm thinking like the Blaps and the Vargur and all these other kind of races that are existing in the Traveler world. Instead of the Imperium, we're calling it the Prime Dominion. Just little things that we're changing for the story of how we're going to do this. So with that kind of out of the way, we see you guys approaching the Orselian. You've been away on leave, and the way this kind of works on the Orselian is they do shifts. So you're on for like 2 months, and then you get to fly away, take a break, go to like maybe they fly you out for 2 weeks to a local other system. You're able to go to a planet, do what you want to do, and then they fly you back. So you basically have like a week and a half off, or whatever you want to do, and then they fly you back. And then like that's how they cycle out everybody on this space station.
Gotcha.
So, what is everybody's job on this space station, do you think? It could be menial, it doesn't have to be fancy.
So here's a quick question.
Sure.
Partially character creation and partially like, can I make a small change that might fit into this?
No, fuck off.
So I had comms, like in electronics I went with comms. With the Traveler package, like that we picked, it got electronics at 1, but I already have it. So would that have meant that I thought that meant I get to pick another specialty?
You do, yeah.
So I picked computers.
Okay.
But can I switch that to sensors?
Sure.
Because then that kind of fits like...
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what he was in the Marines doing. He was comms and sensors and shit.
Yeah.
And so that's his job here, is like basically monitoring some of
Perfect.
the stuff.
That works.
Cool.
All right, so you're going to be on monitor, kind of checking the forms like the pings off the planets.
Yeah. And then, repairing any of that equipment that needs that kind of thing. But
Okay, cool. How about Toots? You got any idea what Toots will be doing?
Well, I was gonna say like an Uhura kind of, because she speaks the other language,
Okay.
in case they needed it. But
So maybe she's like an ambassador, like helps.
communications,
Sure. Yeah.
I guess
That works.
Yeah, that's the only thing I got that she would be there for.
Hey, that works. All right. Does Jedt or Blex have a reason why they'd be there? Would they be, or no? Like, what they'd be doing on the ship?
I don't know. Like this is like a random thought, but like it. I mean, what about like warehouse or inventory management or something like that, where like I'm
Yeah.
like a logistics like operations guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be stuff there. They're probably growing their own food on there, all that kind of stuff. So you can help oversee that.
Yeah, what is remote ops in the electronics category? Do we know?
remote ops is using telepresence to remotely control drones, missiles, robots, and other devices.
Yeah, we'll say I have
Sure,
that
cool.
because that might be useful for what I'm talking about.
That works.
Yep.
You're flying around drones, making sure they're giving the proper amount of water to all the hydroponics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I also have sensors, so I was thinking maybe if we knew each other, maybe Tyler's character was the one who got me the job.
Sure.
And we also
be.
both work in sensors.
Yeah.
That works.
I mean, and if it's really monitoring like multiple planets for
Right.
any signs of life, there's like a whole
A team.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I think that works out. And I think if you want to have your black market deals on here, like, it's a big enough space station where stuff like that's going to go down.
Okay.
So none of that's going to matter.
Cool.
So we see you guys arriving back from your destination away. Is there anything particularly that you would do while you're away? Is there any like rituals you think your character has come up with over the past couple years of when they go there? Like, maybe maybe this comes into like a romantic relationship
No,
that you'd
say
pick
this-
with you have a romance partner there. So you
Yeah,
fly there, see them.
I'll say he spends his short leave like with his lady.
Okay.
Don't have a name for her yet, but I mean that's where he spends all of his leave time,
Okay.
basically. Before
So
he's back
whatever
out here.
planet set there is, your lady's there. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I like that.
I think I had an ally, maybe like an informant on the station, someone who like I like to kind of, I don't know. It's like old habits die hard, and I like to make connections, and maybe like I don't know if that would work, but
No, absolutely.
something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you got an ally somewhere on the ship. What does Toots do on this vacation?
Probably something to do with her organized gambling ring that she manages.
Okay.
Collects those winnings,
Gotcha.
hustles other people that are in debt.
So at one point she started up like an illegal gambling den on this little
Yeah.
backwater planet. and
Yeah, she's
swoops
not
in?
a great person.
No, hey, you don't have to be.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about travel. You're not a hero. You're just trying to
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah, she likes her earnings.
That works.
Yeah.
I like it. Blex, what does Blex do when he gets to this? It could be a planet. It could be I think it's like a planet. I don't think it's a space station. But
I don't. So in my mind, like Blex doesn't leave his like have block. Like he doesn't leave his little tiny apartment. So I don't. If we need to, that's totally fine. I think whatever he does, he probably just stays like locked up in his room working on
Okay.
stuff,
Cool.
working on junk.
Yeah, I think I think they kind of force you to go.
Then
For the simple fact of like you need like the change of scenery, if anything. They don't want people to go crazy out there. And
Then I think
Like-
he takes like a space cruise.
Okay.
And then he just stays in his room the whole time, and he like brings his his cybernetic work like with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. That works. So we see you guys cutting loose, getting into your various schemes of whatever you're doing while you're away. And time comes back. The ship arrives to bring you back. So basically they kind of drop you off. Ship, like the new crew gets on, flies back with it, and then the ship comes back. New crew gets off, that kind of thing. So there's kind of always, I think it helps with, people need shore leave, and then there's probably a little bit of redundancy in the jobs too. Like there's sensor team A, sensor team B. So when you get back to your position, you'll see the notes that were left for you from whoever did the job previously.
Check the logs and all that.
Right,
Everything they
exactly.
recorded. Yep.
So like you guys aren't always the ones doing the work. There's always at least one team on the crew and on the ship. And I mean, it's a large spaceship, but you probably don't need a whole ton of people to run it. And since there's nobody really out here in the middle of it, there's probably some left over between teams, but it's never like a full, like, this team's always gone kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So we see you guys coming back. You are exiting out of, this week-long travel on this ship. It's, you have another week there amongst each other to talk, hang out. You get to know the ship captain. We're going to say his name is...
First name Holden, second name or last name Uranus.
His name is Willie Rigark.
Rigark?
Yes. Old Willie Rigark. Rigarc. Say he's got longer white hair, a little scraggly of a beard. And like when the other ship comes back, Willie would have come with you guys as part of this away. So like, you all meet up with Willie, the other ship comes.
I'm sure we know him if we've been here for...
Oh, yeah. Hey, Willie.
Hey, good old Willie.
Uncle Willie. Everyone calls him Uncle Willie. Not like in the sense of he's a penis. But,
Bit of a chode.
He probably could be. I could see Uncle Willie being a little bit of a chode. Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
He knows how to fly a ship, and he's pretty good at it. And it's neither, like, we'll say your guys' ships are docked there, or they're docked somewhere else.
Yeah, he's only a little bit misogynistic, but...
Probably. I mean, it's an older guy. But I don't know. Do you think misogyny exists in the far future? Have we gotten rid of it as a society?
I wouldn't be a politician if it wasn't.
Undreamt of kinds of misogyny in the future.
Yeah, exactly. As society spreads out, its ability to regulate goes down drastically.
Okay, well, there we go. Let me make sure I know.
Yeah, I have my ship hidden in the warehouse. Like, I mean, people. It's not that it's not hidden, but like, I kind of own the warehouse, or I deal with that. So I found a place to kind of hide it, and build stuff around it.
Put a little camouflage blanket over it.
That works.
You're like Dane Cook in that one movie where he has the they work at like a Costco.
Yeah,
they like hide out in the racks.
Yes,
Employee of the month.
Employee of the month.
Yeah.
That sounds
Employee
right.
of the month,
Yeah.
yeah.
I never saw it, but I remember the trailers for it.
Yeah.
That was really.
Aren't you a huge Dax Shepard fan? That's weird.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, that's
Crazy.
Kristen Bell's husband?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You told me in privacy that you had seen all of his movies, so it's really weird.
I'll say that Jedt in his younger years was as douchey as Dane Cook is. Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
yeah, he's
Willie gets on the comm system. It's like, hey, everybody, we're making our approach in here, so make sure you got everything gathered up. Don't leave too much of a mess in the room for other folks getting on here. He can't hear you, so don't you don't have to
Yeah, I'm
respond
not
to me.
saying anything.
And so, yeah, we see the ship kind of flying in as the space station gets bigger and bigger in front of you. We're going to say you guys are on a safari ship. That makes the most sense for like,
okay.
Yeah. We see you kind of approaching this thing. We see Willie get onto the comm systems. He's just like, Space Station Marcellian, like this is Safari ship 2468 coming in, mission dock. Where we need to be docked at? What area? And he's, silence, kind of like static on the comms. You see like a couple red lights kind of flashing on the outside.
oh shit.
To donate what it is. You see Willie kind of pausing and picks up the comm system again, kind of punching the numbers like, Space Station Marcellia, this is Fire Ship, requesting dock again. Where do you want us to park? Then nothing. Nothing like that. You see him get over the comms. He's just like, folks, I think y'all want to meet me up here. We got, maybe one of you has a better chance of getting a hold of one of these folks. I can't.
So I like unbuckle, walk my way up there.
I would say my character is like an habitual like coin flipper. Like she always has a coin in between her knuckles.
Like Harvey Dent?
Yeah, but she's like not too. But anyway, she's
Mine's
just like always thinking and like flipping the coin.
She's metaphorically two-faced, not literally two-faced.
Yeah.
I'm a habitual coin biter.
You're just
All right.
to bite her hand.
All right.
Nice. Nice.
Danger in space?
The void.
The
What?
void of space.
Unheard of.
Never.
So I think Toot would get up out of her cell and like be like slightly annoyed that she has to get up sooner than she's mentally prepared for. Just go do her comm thing because
So you guys,
she's a comm person.
You guys make it to the bridge. You see Willie sitting there. He's got like his little brown overalls, white shirt, kind of stained. I think it's like a long sleeve shirt that's kind of pulled up around his wrists.
Cut
and
off
he's
shoulders.
like-
Cut off at the shoulders. No, he's a
I mean,
tracker
could,
man.
but I was thinking he had like, I think a long sleeve makes sense for Willie.
Okay.
Maybe his younger years when he had the gun show, he could do the
Okay.
but age has just withered away them muscles.
So,
So you guys are on the bridge.
Willie,
oh, sorry. Is everybody going to go to the bridge? I should
Yeah,
ask that.
I'm going
I
to
don't
the
wanna play your
bridge.
characters.
I don't say anything because I'm just like, and I just kind of like, whatever. I'm just like observing and monitoring.
Does Blex go to the bridge too, or
Yeah, Blex will go to the bridge.
okay, cool.
Yeah, I go to the bridge. Wait, Willie, I know you're getting old, but do you need a hand or something? What's going on?
Look, I'm just I tried radioing them. Ain't nobody responded. Y'all have a contact on there you might be able to call, and so we should be within range now. You got anything you could reach out to them and let them know we're here and tell them to get a hold of someone on
sure.
comms?
And like,
I think it's Tiffany that's the one running right now.
I want to. Not that I don't trust Willie, but I want to go like actually try to use his comms first.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Toot wouldn't even stop and wait. She would just like sit down at her little little
Sure.
station, and then she would just like start pushing buttons and just trying to do the comm thing, and
Yeah.
she'd just be like annoyed.
yeah, try to hail him. Try to.
Yeah.
Just rings and rings and rings. No response.
Okay, then. I mean, like we can see the station.
Yeah, you can see the station.
Like, all right, well, we're in range, and pull out. I actually, when I was doing equipment, picked a personal comm unit.
Yeah, you did.
Pretty good one. It's basically just a phone, but like I know. What do you say, Tiffany? As he said?
Sure, yeah, we'll say Tiffany. That's what I said.
Yeah, like try to call.
How do you know Tiffany?
Well, I mean,
Side piece?
No, I would never do that. To my
That's
man.
good. I'm glad your character has
Damn.
morals in that sense.
Mine doesn't. Fuck that
Yeah, just
shit
try
out
to-
of
just try to-
Tiffany.
Christ.
You got cucked by Astrodomos.
Yeah, did we ever? Did you settle on a female or male?
It's Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we
exactly.
okay. I was
Yeah.
saying because Astrodomos is still a pretty. That could go either way.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right.
It's the future. I figured they'd just.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Fucking's fucking. That's what people do.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So you call Tiffany.
Call up Tiffany. She works in the. I don't know. She's part of like. I don't know what the name would be, but like the crew that handles transport logistics
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, nothing. Just rings.
Leave her
rings.
Leave her a voicemail. Hey, we're trying to dock back to the station. If you can give me a call back, that'd be great. Thanks.
And so you guys float out here, approaching. You can see none of the other bays are full, and so Willie's just kind of like, "Y'all, want me to just pull into one and we could sync up? What do y'all want to do? What?"
I guess like here's the question: is like I don't know. I saw my character, inventory management, warehouse, sort of like I might have some like tooling for like some kind of pad that has like what bays are open, which ones
Sure.
like door statuses of what's like.
Oh, yeah.
You think that he
stuff.
would take that with him on vacation, or would he leave it there in his room?
So I would say mainly like I think that I would take it personally just because that's the thing I'd be fiddling with
Sure.
for a while is like planning next month's like inventory and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Because that was partly what I actually was talking to my informant with about was like, investment opportunities, what stock can be moved. And
Gotcha,
so I kind of,
What you got?
We have 2 sensor guys on our team right now.
We do have sense. Yeah.
Is there any way you guys can check, see if
Sense
communication's
something?
in? Sense something.
Well, that's the thing. Like, what kind of? I was just looking at the Safari ship, and it doesn't seem to have any like. It doesn't explicitly have like great sensors or anything. It's just civilian grade stuff.
Yeah. It's nothing super
fancy.
important.
Yeah, and then
So I don't
Chris-
know what we could see from there, but that would be my next thought. Is like, okay, what can I see on like what kind of capability does this ship have?
You would probably think there's not going to be a whole ton here. No, it's got sensors 1. So there are sensors on there.
Yeah, the Safari ship listed just civilian grade sensors.
Yeah. So let's see.
I don't know what those actually would be.
Yeah, if one of you wants to give me a sensors roll, we'll see what you guys pick up.
Sure.
after that or at the same time, like, can I do anything with like? Do I see anything irregular on my monitors for like inventory stuff, or can I take control of like a drone and see what's going on?
Let's go with their roll, and then we'll get to that one.
So I rolled a 6. I have 1 sensor, so was that 7?
What are you going to add for your characteristic as well?
I don't. None. It doesn't matter. They're all 0.
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're the worst
How did
character
you
ever.
even get on the sensor team?
Just my luck and hard work.
Yeah.
So don't find anything. You send the sensors out, don't really pick anything up. We see Jedt. You're going to try to, you look at nothing's missing from inventory. Like, I guess that's a good question. Do you have like an inventory on all the ships included as well? Or is it just what's in your warehouse? Like, so your ship and then everything in the warehouse.
So, like, the way I saw it was like logistics and operations. So, like, I think I would have whatever would normally have sensors from a warehouse and docking and like station, like ships. So the intake and outtake, both of ships and wares. I figure like that, plus like forklifts and the space equivalent of forklifts.
I don't think there's a space equivalent of forklifts. It's just kind of,
you know what I mean?
Well, I think
like
in zero G they could probably just like hook little rockets on and just move stuff around.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Exactly. So
booster
that's kind of what I saw fit into that role.
Okay.
And like, I think like those things need cameras in order to operate remotely, so I figured like maybe there's something there.
All right, give me a roll to get into one of those. What do you think you're gonna roll?
So I can do remote ops. I mean that or yeah. I mean I have one remote ops as we talked about.
Do you have electronics computers?
I do have. Well, electronics is at 0, but my remote ops within electronics is 1.
Yeah, I'd say that works. Yeah.
And then
So you're gonna try to take control of one of these drones. So
yeah.
So what are you gonna? So you have that plus your characteristic. What do you want to add for that? Where do you think he learned this?
So it's. I mean, I think intellect or education, imagine fits. If you think that education would apply in terms of researching how the drone works and how to connect to it.
Yeah, either or I think would work.
Okay.
So
education it is +2.
All right. So you have +2 to this roll.
Yeah.
All right. So you got to hit an 8.
Nice. Is it? Yeah, it'd be 2 from education, and is it +1 from remote ops?
Remote ops will give you 1, and then your education's a +2?
2, yes.
Okay.
So I just barely got +2 because of my personal
there you go.
improvement or whatever.
Give me that roll.
Nice. All right. It is a 7, so it hits.
We got to roll an 8.
Oh,
so you
sorry.
roll 7 on the dice?
7, yeah, on the dice, yeah.
Okay, so that would be a 10.
Be a 10.
Okay, cool.
I should probably give you the modified score.
It's all good. We'll have to get into the habit.
Yeah.
So. Cool, yeah, you succeed. So you're able to get a hold of one of these drones, you tap into it, kind of waken it up. You start flying it through. We see this drone kind of flying, lift up off its charging dock in the warehouse. I don't think it's going to be like super good camera.
No.
But probably like, it's got a decent amount, like 720. You can see stuff.
Just enough to see stuff.
It's the future.
They're going to be better than the cameras we have now. And so you start flying through this warehouse, and you don't see anybody in the warehouse. Maybe there's usually like 1 or 2 people kind of doing this. You don't see anybody.
Dang.
And so you fly out of there. Maybe there it could operate doors, or maybe like the doors auto sense it and they kind of fly through. And maybe you hang to the hangar bay because you start flying that way. Just doing there. Maybe they're like right next to each other.
Yeah.
And you hit the hangar bay and you're flying through, and there's no new ships. Nothing that you see there. The only thing that you're noticing is that one of the ground ships that's here is missing. You don't have it.
Oh.
So, like, let's say there's 3 ships. One of them's gone as you fly through, but everything else is still there in the thing. But as you fly through, like you fly through these alleyways or the walkways. You don't see a single person.
Interesting.
On the ship.
Wow.
The station.
So there's a ship missing. Would I have access to like a ledger that would have showed if it was like formally flown out of the dock?
I think you would have to probably get into the computers on there.
Sounds good.
And all
right.
Yeah.
Cool. And I kind of just report. I'm like, there's no one that I can see on the station.
What do you mean, no one?
I looked through the warehouse from this drone, and I went through the hallways that this drone can access. And usually there's warehouse workers. There should be Jeffrey and Ledger Domain there. And, I don't know a random name. And they're both missing, and they should be on shift right now.
Huh. All right, Willie, how close can you get us?
It's like, I could get us into one of them ports. I just like, one of you probably gonna have to override it to get it to sync up and get us in there, right? Some of y'all got computers?
Yeah. 1 second. I want to go back. So, you tell me this is not justification.
Sure.
He's come from being in space, Marines, like his whole career. He never gets on a ship without having his vac suit, just in case.
Yeah.
So he's going to go back into his his cabin and get his vac suit on, and if he can get us close, I'll
Hell yeah.
go into the like the bay, do whatever manually needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, he could get you like synced up. It would just someone would have to like override the doors to get them to sync up to open up all of the decontamination, everything like that.
Well, yeah, that's
Are you going to fly over there first and then open the doors and then have him sync up?
whichever makes the most sense. But like, if somebody has to get over there to do something in that end,
No, he can get it close, and then you guys could like just someone's going to have to program it to get the door on the other side open.
I mean,
typically
sure.
there's somebody there to run it,
Yeah.
to open that side, like the airlock side. So
Yeah.
you will have to manually override the airlock side. That's the issue.
That's what I just didn't know if I needed to
Yeah.
like leave this ship to do it.
All right, I'm gonna make a
But
roll.
he is
here.
getting his vac suit on no
That's
matter
fine.
what.
I'm gonna make a roll here for Willie. We're gonna see how good he does piloting into this in.
Damn.
Little bumpy. It's a little bumpy. Probably scrapes a little bit of the paint. He's old. Willie does not do a good job getting this thing lined up.
Gee, he's getting old.
Hits it. You know, you kind of hear like maybe something like the thing starts flashing on red. It's like, quiet down. Like, punches some stuff in.
You just hear metal.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like, I'll fix it later. It's all good. I'll make sure it's fine by the time we get back. And so you guys get to this, you know, he lines it up pretty much perfectly with this door. And you're going to have to give me a roll to get through, like basically to override the airlock door. So if you think your characters would have a reason to know that code, I'm totally fine with that. Otherwise, it's probably going to be a computer check, or engineering, or electronics, or a computer check.
Hold on. We're just up at the outside airlock of...
Yeah, you've pulled up to the outside of the station. We'll say it's like Bay 3.
How
So-
much hard vacuum did he?
Yeah.
Did he jump outside of the ship? You're saying to like reach it?
But no, he's just like coasting in.
Oh,
He's been
okay.
coasting
Yeah,
in.
okay.
But do we know if it's just hard vacuum on the other side of this door? Because none of us know if anything happened.
Yeah, you don't know yet.
There could just be no oxygen. And
Yeah,
so we
that's
would all
why
need
I
to
was-
I think
sit
you
up.
all would probably get on fact suits to be safe.
Right.
So, okay, if they're on the thing.
Yeah, I think it's every ship's going to have. I think they would have emergency vac suits.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. Oh,
This
cool.
isn't the Titanic.
Yeah, you all get suited up. Get you. Even Willie's getting his on, like fighting the boot. He's like, just come out, get over my cankle.
For this intent and purpose, is there any difference between having vac suit 0 and having no vac suit anything?
It's just only if you have to like maneuver in the vac suit. Okay. Like walking's going to be fine, but like if you're floating in space, like something happens and you get ricocheted off, then bad things might happen.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that just to add to the character, Toots would just, before she puts on the helmet, she would just like put the coin behind her ear and then just be
Nice.
like, it'd just be like gone. It'd be like one of those, and she's like a magician.
Okay,
And then just puts the helmet on.
Damn, all right.
I like it.
Very dilettante.
Yeah, she's frustrated with this plebeian
Yeah.
show of like no one's communicating. That's my one job. I'm here. I'm annoyed. I don't have to be here, but I have to be
Right.
here.
This is beneath you.
So you guys pull up. Who's going to give me this electronics? Anybody have computers?
I did until I
do.
changed it to sensors. Yeah, you go
You
for
do?
it.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to
Nice.
give me the roll to get through here. So it's going to be computers plus either your intelligence or intellect.
Yep. So it's going to be my education or intellect.
Yeah,
It's going to be my
education,
education, which is +2. My computer's +1. So I'm at a
sorry. Plus 3 here. So
Oh yeah.
D and 8.
Yeah. Do you ever need my total score or just like a pass?
because there might
fail?
if you like effect matters.
So my total score is a 15. I
God
rolled a
Damn!
12 on the die.
So that's
Nice.
massive. effect.
Double six-a-roonies.
There was a double crit.
That
Yeah,
is
double
a you hold on here.
So that is an exceptional success, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So you get up there, you start getting into the system, and before anything, because of your success, you realize that like when he pulled in, he wasn't fully there. So with your
shit.
exceptional success, you're like, Willie, you gotta move this like 2 or 3 inches more. And so I was gonna have it be if you guys didn't have vac suit on, bad things would happen.
Oh
Nice.
shit.
Because he
Nice.
failed pretty bad. But you get pulled, you correct it with your exceptional success. We see these doors get lined up. You see the green seal, we'll say, comes around the door, letting it know it's good.
Nice.
You hear like that door closes, your door opens, you step into the decontamination area. Willie kind of like hobbles in with you guys. You hear the door of your ship close. The other just, the air kind of buffets you. You see the green sill of their door open, and the door opens up.
So the station does have power.
There's
and
power.
Oxygen.
There's oxygen. Nothing's floating. You're not floating in space. There is some sort of gravitational field in here. So everything looks to be running. The lights are on. Everything seems to be normal. You just don't see anybody.
Do we have anything, or is there like equipment that would allow us to read the like levels of the air? Like, there's obviously breathable oxygen, but if there's like any other gas or anything, we wouldn't know. I don't know if that's an equipment that we would have to buy. I don't even think we would have to have it. I don't think we would have it.
We could say there's
us.
there might be some panels throughout the ship that tell you like the.
That's a good.
I would say
that
each
makes
room
sense.
would have something there, so like you'd be able to look at and know.
Yeah, I
So
imagine
I'm fine
that'd
with
be
that.
part of the HVAC, wherever the HVAC room is that like regulates, oxygen.
But
So
there's probably
I
like
feel
indicators on the wall, like oxygen level good.
Okay,
in, like,
okay.
each room. I'm fine with that. That makes sense.
Cool.
Because if
It's
they're-
important in space.
Right, exactly. So yeah, we see you guys walk through into this hangar bay. You notice immediately that one of the ships that's been there, a ground transport ship, is gone. There's two others left there. We'll say that your ship, the safari ship, is still parked there. Cody's ship is hidden, so that's not going to be there. And yeah, you guys are just, nobody is there. There's no other crew waiting for you to get back. All of your footsteps are echoing on this metal. You can't hear it because you have a vac suit on, so...
I want to learn.
Actually, you could, because there's no... It's space. You guys have... There's actual things. So, like, you hear, like, the metal clanging as you all walk into this large bay and stare around.
I'm
I
going
want to
to
learn whose ship that is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jedt, can't you check the logs or something, see when that ship left?
Right.
There's
Yeah.
cameras in this place, right? Like,
Yeah, there would be, yeah.
I want to see if I can find that.
Absolutely, there should be a log here.
Also, wouldn't there also be like life support? Like, wouldn't they be able to track like, oh, there's human life in these rooms or something?
Oh, there might
There-
be. You
there-
probably have to get to
yeah.
a computer console.
Yeah, they're actually. I was just looking at that. There are straight up sensors that detect like neural
Oh,
activity.
nice. Cool.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, we're only here on this space station because of the Prime Dominion?
You guys were stationed here as kind of like, you're watching over these planets. Like,
But as part of...
yeah, you're part of the Prime Dominion.
Do we have like a contact that we want to let know?
You probably do. I don't know if you would or like the person who runs it would be.
I think I would just get in touch with my boss.
Sure, yeah.
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 So you, now that you're here, you call your boss up, doesn't answer.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, like an off system.
Gotcha.
boss. Yeah, someone who's like not here to be like,
Yeah.
hey,
So
we
you
just
probably
got
have-
here, and they're like, everybody disappeared.
You'd probably have to get to the comms room to,
Yeah,
to make that call.
that's-
Okay,
You're not going to be able to like, do that from, you need something a little bit more higher power
Okay, got
than
it.
what you got on like a cell phone kind of personal
Okay.
device.
yeah, that's kind of what my thought was too. Like, we're gonna have to get to our comms place.
So it sounds like going to the comms is going to be your first step? Or are you guys going to go stop in the, like, I assume the comms would probably have all the screens and everything as well.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I don't have to go with that if I want to like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jet,
Go do
Jet
my own
wants to
thing.
stay here.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you want to do, Jet?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like the first thing I would do, I guess, is go like, okay, well, I think bios, signs of life is probably a real first answer. It's a close second for me to go like, whose ship was that, and look at the camera footage just to like see what the hell where that ship went.
Sure.
But I'd say looking for signs of life on the station first. If there's like some kind of panel, I don't know if that would require a computer, but like I thought like that'd sort of be, there's a place where someone monitors that, and that's the place I want to go.
Right, yeah. There's going to be like an office here that you can go check on.
Okay.
So do you guys split up, or are you staying together as a group?
I think I have no reason to be afraid right now, so
Right,
I would
that's what I
just
wanna check.
I would
Okay.
just do my own thing. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we see Jet like head to the office, go to check all the records. We see you three going up to the comms. We'll say it's on a different floor, so like you either take the stairs or you get to an elevator. You shoot up to there, kind of thing. Jet, we see you get to the computer, type in your credentials. all that kind of stuff. And the screen comes up. You start looking through everything you can find. And you see that this ship, it's owned by, it's not like someone's personal ship, it's a ship for the station. So, it's like just, and there is like ship 1, essentially.
Okay.
So it is a ship that the station has, because they...
Part of the station fleet.
Right. If there was ever a moment when things had to go, like if there was ever signs of anything weird, they would theoretically have these ships to go down in the surface, since you guys are in space. Not everything's built for that.
Okay. So whatever amount of logging occurs when someone, whatever, gets on a ship or leaves, or if they have to like go through an approval process in the computer, which like has information, I'm going to look up everything that's available that I normally can access.
So you see that the last ship that like logged out was your guys' ship leaving to go.
Wow.
That was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
So that would be immediately concerning to me because I own like inventory, or at least
Absolutely.
I'm responsible for it. So I'm like, how can something leave without having to
absolutely.
properly logged?
Yeah. So you don't see any log for this other ship leaving.
Wow.
You don't see anything like there's nothing in there.
But I know what bay it left from.
It was
right?
bay. Yeah, it would have been bay. We'll say
bay.
Like you guys are in bay 1, so we'll say they're like in bay 4.
Okay. Is there a camera feed like I can look through the history?
Sure.
Or is that,
You start looking through that. Take your time.
Okay.
You start scrubbing back there, and you go back a day.
Sure.
Go back another, or do you start scrolling back till you see? I'm assuming like some movement.
Yeah, I go super fast until I see the ship reappear or disappear.
You hit about 4 days.
Okay.
And you see you watch as all of this crew on the ship. So it's not a ton of people. It's a larger space station, but again, you don't need a whole ton of people.
Yeah.
You see probably about 15 people leaving, coming into the bay, and they're all kind of looking at each other and they're talking. I don't know. It's not super loud, but you see them talking and they're like pointing at the ship, and all of them, like one person comes over, gets the ship started up. You see it kind of rocket up. You see everybody checking stuff. You see a couple people are armed. You see a couple people have like, they've probably gone to the armory, so there's suits of armor, there's weapons in their hands. There's a couple people with backpacks and everything like that. And you see them leave. They go onto the ship, and you see the ship kind of back out in the space, and then just disappear out of view of the cameras.
Wow.
About 4 days ago.
And that isn't logged how I expect it to be logged. Interesting.
And counting how many people it looked like all of the crew that was here.
Just
Just
all
gone.
of the crew. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
So you guys cut from there.
Yeah.
We go up to the comms room. You guys get up there. Haven't seen a single person. It is eerily quiet as you're like the only footsteps you hear are just your clangs on these metal walkways, these metal floorings that are created, the grates and everything. You get to the comms room, doors open up. You walk inside, nobody. It's completely empty.
First thing I do is I go to a station and find the last outbound message, the last time we communicated with anybody.
Good call.
So you start looking into that, and you see that the last communications in this thing looks like 4 days ago.
And can I see the content of the message or whatever it was?
It looked like a hail, like they were trying to like reach something.
Okay.
But you'd never seen, like, it was an outgoing message out to something.
Okay. Then seeing that, the next thing I want to do is, what's the station called?
The Orcelian.
The Orcelian. So the Orcelian, I mean, we have a contact from like,
Sure.
and the Imperium or whatever it is. I just want to try to send a message out, like, we just got back from leave, we just got a station, there is nobody here.
Sure. So
Right.
remember, like, travel's not faster than light. So, like,
I know.
it's going to take a while for that message to get back.
I just want to get it out.
Sure. So you fire that off. I'm assuming that's what you would do as well with your contact. Yeah. So, so you fire these messages off, kind of just like do you ask for like what to do? What is the kind of contents of the message?
I would kind of ask for what they would want us to do, how to proceed.
Okay.
I tell them for now what we're doing is we're just going to keep looking to see what happened.
Sure.
And wait further instructions.
Cool. Perfect. So we see that go. We see you guys send that out. You guys are looking through. You're maybe looking through these past messages. You see they pinged something about 4 days ago. There's no ascertainable address of what it was. But maybe it's like you knew. I think we said it was Tiffany working before or something like that. Let's say you go onto like Tiffany's interpersonal, like, there's still like an instant message or something popped up on her screen, like a futuristic Teams. I don't know what would be the future of that. There's some sort of intercommunication system.
Yeah,
you guys
we
have.
definitely have to have
Oh,
something.
this is truly bleak. Teams won the synchronous communication.
Whatever
war?
it would be. It doesn't have to be Teams. It could be something new, like groups.
Ugh. Didn't realize this was Cthulhu.
Microsoft rules everything.
Yeah.
They are. Sorry, Slack. Is Slack what everyone uses now?
Slack is cooler than Teams.
Okay, I have
Teams
no
kind of
idea.
sucks.
I won't ever work Teams, so
Yeah.
So you guys see there's a message that Tiffany had sent to another group, and you open up this message, and it just says Sheridan 4 picked up signs of life. How do we proceed? ?
That's the one with one moon.
It is the one with one moon, and so they're just
Hero point, please.
There's no hero point to this game. And so, yeah, that's just basically like, you see a message come back, it's like, we'll talk with everybody, we'll figure this out. Appreciate the heads up. And that was about 5 days ago.
Okay.
So
at this point, we haven't talked, so I don't know that there's a video
Yeah.
of...
I report in. I think I would either interrupt you and you'd be like, no, stand by, and then we would trade info.
Sure.
But yeah, so if I would like wave Blex over and show him like, hey, check it out. This is the last communications some of the last communications. I mean, do you think they could have gone down to the planet?
Why would they all go? Why would they leave the entire station unoccupied?
Yeah, we would. I'm
idea.
just making an assumption, but we would know that's not
No,
standard.
that's not at all.
Yeah.
Can we go to the somewhere? Can we see if they put the station on like auto anything? Like, did they prep for it to run by itself?
I have an idea.
Might be on the bridge to look for that or something like that, or the engineering bay.
I want to try to contact that missing ship. Because if it's part of our fleet, we absolutely have to have something.
Oh, yeah, you'd absolutely have something.
As part of the same effort, since I think we've reconciled at this point, like I would also say, as part of that investigation, can we find out the trajectory of that ship? Usually, sci-fi stuff has like, there's this red line.
Yeah, now that you know what to look for, you could see like the ship. Now that I'm fine with that.
If I try to get it on the fleet intercom, like, do I get a response?
So you call it up. You're starting to look for the trajectory. The trajectory matches as like you're looking through. You could see it take off, and it lands on Sheridan 4.
Okay, it does.
Not the moon, on the planet itself, like the planet proper.
Got it.
And you hail that ship.
So Celian trying to reach ship 1, come in.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be static because it doesn't make sense, but I like the idea of static. But it doesn't make sense.
How
for
about
there to
really
be static.
eerie static? Where it's like,
Interference.
That works too. All of that just happens.
and that adds tension, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So there's like a little bit of you hear like something engage the button. Like you can hear like when you like. It's hard to explain, but when there's somebody like in the room with you, you can feel that presence. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you hear that on this other line of this communication, and you just hear a voice that none of you like. Maybe you don't know, but there's not. It's a small crew, so you don't know like everybody. But you just hear a voice come in, and it's just like, "Go for ship. What do you need?"
Oh,
where are you? We just like, are you okay? What's your status?
Where are you?
We're on the station.
Oh, so there's
Who is
more up
this?
there.
Who is this?
I thought. When did you guys arrive?
Who am I speaking to?
Did you guys just get there?
Who am I speaking to?
Huh.
tell him your rank.
Yeah, pull rank,
Yeah.
dude. What's your
I mean, I was just thinking about it. Like if he's going to keep dodging, he'd be like, "This is Lieutenant Colonel Zander Cross on the Orcelian. Identify yourself."
And you just like, there's a little bit of a pause. It's just like, cross. No, I don't think I've met you. Huh. Cool.
Sounds real spaced out.
All right, well, yeah, if you guys want to come down too.
Where? Come down. Are you on the planet? Who is this?
We're on the planet. Like, well, of course we're on the planet.
I have persuade. I can try.
I mean, you guys are welcome to chime in.
Right.
Just kind of like take my finger off the button. Like, who is this fucking space case?
I mean, I can try persuade.
Sure. Give me a persuade roll.
Okay.
What do you? So you got persuade, and then probably I'm assuming what are you going to use to add to it for your characteristics?
I'm going to try.
I think it's normally society, but
Or social.
I mean, I can do social. Yeah. I mean, I could just be like, I'm the politician.
Yeah.
typically intersocial.
Yeah, I would say like it's a stretch to say it's intellect, but I think there's certain conversations where it could,
Sure.
but probably
Yeah.
not this one.
Okay. So my roll will be. Gonna extra roll these. Okay. Not great.
Ooh.
No.
Well, what'd you roll?
Well, I rolled a 3 on the dice. I have a 1 in persuade and then 1 for social, so that'd be 5.
Yeah, no.
That's
so
gross.
you like, what do you say into the microphone? Like, how do you try to persuade this person to give you information?
I'm just going to be like, push the button and just be, yeah, we just arrived. And I'm going to, since, like, this is not someone I recognize their voice, I'm going to give a fake name.
Okay.
I'm just going to be like, this is Bells McGee. Yeah, we just arrived, just like my associate just said that we did. We are unfamiliar.
I don't think I told him I just arrived.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
I'm trying to get an answer out of him.
Yeah,
They said there are more.
He wanted to know if you're on the stage,
But maybe that's where you screw up, as you say that.
true.
Oh,
there you
maybe,
go.
yeah. Yeah, why is all of our crewmates on a planet?
There's a little bit of a silence, and then just like, I don't know a McGee. Well, awesome. Well, hey, welcome. Glad you guys are having fun. That's great. It's like he's having a different conversation than what you are having with him. Like something's not entirely right with this person.
Something's odd.
They're kind of like, they pause a little bit more, and they're just like, yeah, we're the planet. We're here. Yeah, if you guys want to come down, water's warm.
Why would we go down?
I guess I just slam the button and I just jump in.
Everyone's just like,
You're in the hold.
Well, no, I
He
came back up.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I'm just like, and I'm going to do the same thing. It's like, I guess like a persuade for information. And I'm just gonna be like, inquiring minds must know. What's good? What's happening down there? Y'all having a good time? I mean, what's good down there?
All right, give me that roll.
Yeah. And that is going to be, I have a 2 with persuade plus 5. So that is going to be a 7. That is a fail.
Do you have anything to add with a characteristic?
I mean, I could use int or education, but because if I use social, it's plus 0, and I
Gotcha.
use social there. But I mean, if you want me to use int,
I mean, if you use social, then yeah, that does. Yeah,
we'll
so
say social. Yeah.
again, this kind of pause. It's just like, I mean, everyone's good. Yeah, everyone's fine. There's nothing crazy. We just we're down here exploring. Everything's on the up and up. Everything's great.
everything.
You guys want to? I mean, if you're there, you can come down here.
Right. Is there someone else you can
Who
put on the?
are you?
Can you put someone else on the comms?
Yeah, you want someone else?
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Yeah. Okay, give me 1 sec. And then it just goes dead. And then you wait a minute,
Okay.
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
He just hung up and ran.
10 minutes. Nothing.
Nothing. All right.
I would continue to try to call him again, see if it.
Don't pick up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll end the session. See you guys next time. So this is our first official episode of the Cepheid variable.
That was
And-
Cepheid.
That's not how the lady said it.
Well, she's a robot. I'm a fucking human.
What?
Well,
The
just
Cepheid variable.
watch out, dude. They might take over.
It's true. And obviously, we should probably talk about, we're doing a sci-fi show. So I'm assuming everybody here has some form of favorite sci-fi TV show, book, all that stuff. I don't really fucking care what that is. What I care to talk about is why the Nazis couldn't beat Russia in World War II. Tyler, your thoughts? I'm just fucking with you.
Wait, what? The-
Oh, what?
what?
I could go on
He's
and
about to go
on.
into.
Well, I mean, once you hit 40, you're going to go that route. Like, you either become a World War buff or you get into grilling,
I
like,
was saying,
smoking meat.
I'm going to get into smoking meats.
Smoking
Okay.
meat.
Because it's funny, because my buddy Rick and I, he got really into World War One.
Oh, boy.
Like,
Dude,
What the fuck?
really
he
so
got
random.
so into it.
Like,
Yeah,
to
what
the
the fuck?
point, I was sending him, like, maybe it's because I'm, like, a mean person, but I don't think it's that. But I'm like, yo, man, like, they make, like, World War One miniatures, right? Like, you can set up battles. He's like, what? And so I was sending him all of these, like,
are you fucking
miniature
serious?
battles for him to potentially get into. But no, so like that's the route you go. Like, it's like when you're a hardcore kid. Once you hit like in your 30s, you either get like really into hockey.
Watch it, Chris.
Or-
I swear to fucking God, you fucking watch your mouth.
Like 35, it's either like you get really into hockey or you get really into like barbershop shit. Like that.
Yeah,
those are the two
that
paths
is totally
for
right.
hardcore kids.
I went to hockey.
Oh, for
Yeah, me too.
hardcore kids, okay.
I'm like, yeah. So, so when you hit 40, you either get really, really into World Wars or you get really, really into like smoky meat and barbecues. Like
I'll
those
take the
two-
Still
barbecue.
hardcore people, you're saying?
No, that seems for
that's
more
just like
white
just generic,
guys.
Okay.
generic
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, I remember, when my buddy started talking about like World War stuff, I was like, I didn't take you as a World War buff. Like, I was really
Same.
taken back by like
Well,
his.
you know what did it was that movie 1917.
Yeah, he keeps telling me to watch it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, honestly, he let me have his copy. It's great.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't know why I haven't watched it. I think it's out of spite now. Where I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this now.
Yeah.
Just I have to be in.
What movie is this?
Like 1917.
1917. It's supposed to look like the one take.
Yeah.
World War
Oh,
One movie.
that's right.
It is
okay,
phenomenal.
I never saw
I've
it.
heard.
It's
yeah.
amazing.
I'll
It's
watch
amazing.
it. It just made me laugh. It's like I didn't. Okay, I had to like. It's like I thought you'd go into smoking meats for sure or something like that.
Dude, me too.
Because he and I are pretty similar. Like
Right.
we're both like grumpy old men. I think is a good term.
I would
Like,
go with grumpier.
Yeah,
but
we're grumpier.
Yeah.
Like so. I don't know.
Grump adjacent.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I've gotten better with like the older I've gotten, where
With
I'm
your
not
grump?
as with my grumpiness, where I don't let it affect me as much. It's like, yeah, whatever. It's like it's not. I fully realize that things are not being made for me now, and I'm okay with that.
I
like
honestly-
I'm happy to not be the target audience anymore.
Yeah.
Like that feels great. Like I watched that new Crow trailer. I didn't look dumb. I'm like, this isn't for me.
The what
Like,
trailer?
the Crow with that
Oh,
came out.
yeah, no
I
thanks.
didn't see
I
it.
was like, that shit looks dumb as fuck, but it's not for me. That's for the younger generation. They're the ones who can get mad at this and all the stuff. Like, I don't have to care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being marketed to it. They don't fucking care about
They
me
moved
anymore.
on.
Oh, it's great. I love it. Like, we had our heyday. We had all our Marvel movies and all that shit that was targeted towards me, and now I've aged out of that demographic, and it's nice. Like, I don't matter anymore, and I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But you fucking young kids,
What?
you're still on that demographic.
Nah.
I'm at the edge of that.
You are, but you're still there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. I just want to really throw a swerve. I thought it'd be funny to do
All right.
that.
Yeah. So back to World War II.
Back to World War II. Yeah, so that fucking cold weather, man. The Nazis weren't ready for it. The meth
Exactly.
wasn't helping, and
There's just too many Russians.
too many Russians.
Damn.
Just like cooks. There's too many cooks.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks. All right. We all know it.
I think we
Yeah.
just dated ourselves.
Yeah. Definitely. So what are we actually doing here?
We're doing,
Yeah.
we're doing
Nothing.
name. How do we meet? Yeah.
I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah. Okay.